My opinion on dating single moms, there are certain circumstances, like one, if she's got older kids, adult kids, who have their own lives, semi-functional and good relationship with the kids, that's not bad. You don't have kids in the house. She doesn't have to babysit them and make sure they fed and make sure they get their homework done, and she doesn't have to find a babysitter. That's one of the things you could look at if she has older kids. Also, knowing that dating a single mom, you're not going to be first. You'll never be first in her life. And here comes a certain degree of responsibility that's expected of you. But here's what happens is she's got her children. And if you have a different philosophy on raising kids, and these kids are going to be a part of your everyday life, if you get into a relationship, this is her kids. This is her children. She'll want you to provide. She'll want you to help her with the kids and take them to practice and be involved in their lives and help them do shit. But what happens is if y'all have a different parenting style and a different opinion, a different philosophy on discipline, you essentially can't enforce that because that's not your children. So you're going to be expected to fulfill the responsibility of the father with zero authority, and that'll never work. You'll be so full of resentment, and it'll never work. The kids will never respect you because they know they don't have to listen to you. And the mom has already displayed, don't talk to my kids like that. No, you can't spank my kids. No, you can't punish my kids. But she'll want you to do the other stuff that comes along with being a provider and a caretaker for these kids. So that's one thing to look at. Because it's not all negative. It's not all negative. Personally, I wouldn't date a woman with younger kids just because I have this thing about raising somebody else's offspring. Like I have a son of my own, and I've done that. And then you got to think of the other parent. If the father's in their life in any kind of way, sometimes that could get complicated. Having a spouse involved, co-parent, they call it. How are you going to get along with them? How do they see you? Are they going to make it harder for you at home when the kids are with them to tell them, don't listen to him, he's not your dad, or he's an asshole, that's your mom's boyfriend, he's a bum, he's this, and just constantly talk down about you around the kids when you're not there. Then they come home and they have this attitude towards you. To me, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. But like I said, if she has older kids, and it's something to consider, and a good relationship with her children, and they're respectful, and when they do come to visit or spend time, that they're very respectful to you. They don't cause a ton of drama where you constantly have to be putting out fires in the family. Because again, it's going to be your responsibility to uphold a certain thing, but zero responsibility. You can't enforce anything. And this is the part I'm about to tell you is the part I left out. And this is something nobody thinks about. And I had this happen. I dated a girl when I was 19 who had a son. He was still a baby. I think he was about 10 months old when we met. 10 months, close to a year. And I really didn't even understand anything about single mother. I was raised by a single mother. And I can tell you, the men she dated didn't last because of me. Because I knew. And my dad would do the same thing to me. That's not your dad. You don't answer to him. So the guy would tell me, you need to listen to your mom. I'd say, fuck you. Who are you? You're taking my mom on a date. So no, that's how I was. I was a handful growing up. But here's the part people rarely think about is, so you get with this girl and everything's great. You get along. She's got a well-behaved child, or children. They start looking up to you as a father figure, and you're essentially living your best life with this woman. I mean, things are going great. Work's going good. You move in together. Y'all got a happy home. You're combining money. You're building a nice little life for you and her kids. Now they kind of feel like your kids. They're calling you dad, and you take them to school, and you help them with homework, and you do fun things together. You go on vacations, you go to dinners. It's even to the point where you spend time with them without her there. And you take them to go to the movies, and you do fatherly things with them. Well, guess what? What happens over time is you're gonna fall in love with these children, and you're gonna get attached to these children as yours. Well, in a marriage with a biological child, if you get a divorce and you play your cards right, you still get to be in your child's life. I know I've been heavily involved with my son's life. He's older now, but even through when his mom and I split, he was about 16. And it never stopped. Her and I co-parented well together. Anything that came about, she would call me. I can't deal with him. Can you help me with this? Yeah, sure. She never tried to restrict me from seeing him From what I understand, she never talked unfavorably about me. I never talked unfavorable about her. I hate to say, but that's the exception. That's rare. But anyway, back to the point. If she decides to terminate the relationship, as she has the right to do that, just like you have the right to, you got to take into account, even if you think it's a good idea to terminate the relationship, you're going to grieve those children. You're going to grieve that loss. It may even get to the point where they matter more than her. And she has every right to say you cannot see her kids ever again. Just like that. So that's one huge key point that I left out to that answer. If you should date single mothers. And that's something most people don't even think about. Now, look, and I'll reiterate what I'd said before in my answer and previous stream is that, look, if you just have a casual thing with her and y'all just hooking up, yeah, who cares if she's got kids or not? You're not going to meet the kids. You're going to spend time with her, what, maybe once a week, go do something fun, go home, hook up, maybe have breakfast, go about your separate way. And that's it. You want to have a good time, she wants to have a good time, she'll call you. Come over, or she'll come over there, you go over there. You might go do something fun on certain nights, but there's no attachment. I think that's probably more important than anything to think about before you start dating a single mom, is that you prepared, because I know this to have happened to men. And look, when a woman's done with you and she gets cold, she's ruthless. She doesn't give a shit about how bad you're feeling or how much you're mourning. She don't even care that the kids want to see you. If she's done, she's done. She's moving on. And that's it. You want to see how women change, how cold they get when they want to break up and, go explore some other things. You'll see quick. And she will completely and immediately cut you out of their lives that quick. Look, this isn't working out. I don't want to be together anymore. Can you move out? Or we're moving out. What about the kids? No, you're not allowed to see the kids anymore. And that's it. It's over with from that point on. And if you try to do anything, it's not your children, you'll go to jail for stalking, kidnapping, whatever the case may be. Like, you can't do that. So it's just something to think about. I always encourage men to think about, look at it at every angle before you start dating a woman with kids.